Breaking news, it is 10:31. We can announce. It's an historic moment. The 47th President of the United States is Donald J. Trump.
And the 45th.
Yeah, so they have now... He's passed the magic 270
I've got
mark.
goosebumps.
Stephen Pound, react.
You're
in shock.
The only possible... Well, yeah, I am. I never thought it'd be anything like this. I genuinely never thought it would.
I thought you were supposed to be a politician who could read the room.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not my room. I could read my bedroom, but I can't read it.
Bev and I were both confident yesterday. We both said on this
I thought he'd win. I thought he'd win.
6 months ago.
I thought he'd win.
6 months ago, we sat here and you said...
I said Trump's going to win.
Yeah.
I genuinely didn't...
He's a formidable campaigner, Stephen.
Huge campaigner, and
people can understand.
And also, it doesn't matter what he does, he's Trump, and the more you see of Trump, the more he gets into your head, no matter what he's doing. He's got such a fantastic name. The other thing is, Elon Musk is not the richest man in the world because he's dim. Why do you think he suddenly jumped on the winning horse late in the race? Because he knew what was going to happen.
And he's a massive advocate of free speech. And to run X, as Elon Musk does, formerly Twitter, he needed a president in the White House who also believed in free speech. It was obvious from all the things that Kamala Harris was saying and what Biden has said before her is that they think there was a correct way to speak. They talked about misinformation, disinformation. We need to clamp down on social media because too many people are making too many decisions for themselves.
Well, if we get into that, if you have a look at some of the Democrats in Congress, like Ocasio-Cortez, some of the people from that so-called group of people who are sort of pushing this ultra woke agenda, I think they have some part to blame.
This is what I just said to Matthew a little bit. It's almost like the liberal progressives pushed too fast, too hard, and most people, the vast majority, did not want the tyranny of the minority running our lives and telling us what is true.
I love the expressions you come out with, the tyranny of the minority. But look, can I just say one thing that absolutely staggers me? Firstly, the number of black men who voted for him in his case, the number of Arab Americans who voted for him, despite his comments about Islam, the number of evangelical Christians who voted, despite this man, let's not go into detail.
And Latinos.
Speaks a language they can understand, not this wishy-washy nonsense from Kamala Harris.
I'm sorry, his language about women is not the sort of language that most evangelical Christians I know would support.
No, but
they voted for him.
But he went for this macho thing.
And he talked about the family.
He talked about the family. One of the biggest turnovers was in Detroit, which has got one of the biggest black African populations in the whole of the Union. And another interesting fact I learnt overnight was that Barron Trump, his 18-year-old son, who is 6'9" tall, amazing guy, he got into his dad's ear and said, I can help you with the youth vote, and got Donald Trump to start doing broadcasts, online influencers getting involved, talking about wrestling.
That's exactly what I said this morning.
And that, turned the image of Donald Trump from being very elderly to being down there.
And
let's look at what it means for the UK. His favourite word is tariffs. If he opposes tariffs, we are in trouble.
Statler and Waldorf.
Well, he will.
We love you dearly, and we're so glad you're here with us this morning.
A bit harsh.
You've retired us.
Although they're saying you're Statler and Waldorf from Sesame Street. Who's writing these cues? It's called the Muppets.
You remember? They sat in the balcony.
Clearly a Muppet wrote the cue.
They're too young. Right. This is Britain's Newsroom 10:42 on the day that Donald Trump has just become President of America.
It was he went officially over the line, the Electoral College, by winning Wisconsin, which is one of those 7 swing states with 10 votes in the Electoral College. He's now on 276. He needed 270. We still haven't heard from Kamala Harris. It took Hillary Clinton's, I recall, 24 hours to speak. She's obviously in shock. We're not, because we thought she was going to win.
We've heard from Kemi Badenoch. She's just tweeted saying, congratulations, President-elect real Donald Trump, on the historic election victory. The world faces many serious challenges, and I look forward to our two countries working together to confront them.
There's a bit of
nice tone.
There's a bit of Trump about Kemi Badenoch because she says it as it is. Yeah. She doesn't care if she offends people, and she will cause an argument in an empty room. Yeah. As does Trump, and I think they'll probably get on very well.
Right, joining us in studio is electoral calculus and pollster Marwan Riak. Have I pronounced that correctly? I have.
Very well.
Right.
You lot got it wrong again.
Yes and no.
Which bit's the no?
So, electoral calculus are a UK pollster, so we didn't have any official predictions for the US election. I think if you look at what went on across the pond, the big surprise was that Trump won the popular vote. I think everyone was expecting Trump would lose the popular vote. but would still either narrowly win...
JL Partners, who we talk to a lot on this programme, they called it the popular vote as well.
And just explain to our viewers what the popular vote is. What do you mean by that?
It's just take all the votes in the US, add them up for each candidate, irrespective of which state they're in, and the person who comes first wins the popular vote.
And he's on about 50, currently heading for 52%, something like that.
Which is astonishing. So he's outperforming his 2016 numbers, which was a surprise in itself.
Why are you surprised that he won the popular vote? Why did the pollsters not call it right?
So I'm surprised at the extent of the win. So I thought that Harris would... My personal prediction was that Harris would narrowly win. And it looks like Trump has blown it out the park. And I think what we're seeing is a lot of the electorate in the US are becoming hard to reach. Either people are outright lying to the pollsters and saying that they're voting for one party over another.
Shy Trumpites.
Shy Trumpites. Or what we're seeing is, for example, young black voters who pollsters don't tend to engage with as much as other demographics, who are now shy Trumpers, aren't coming forward at all, but are privately voting for Trump. And the most surprising thing I saw was the fact that he won the Rust Belt states so convincingly. Because there was this famous poll that came out last week by Ann Seltzer, which had Trump 3 points behind Harris.
She gets it right normally, doesn't she?
She had a flawless track record until today.
Yeah, but wasn't there a poll the same day that she called Iowa 3 points ahead to Kamala Harris that put Trump 10 ahead on the same day?
That is true. And I think my understanding is that Ann Seltzer doesn't use very sophisticated techniques. She's just used the same techniques since she started doing polling in Iowa. But she's always been seen as the gold standard.
Not anymore.
Well, no.